So I'm standing here in the community of Kiryat Arba. Now, Kiryat Arba is one of these new yeshuvim that are pretty new in terms of how old they are, in terms of these buildings, because it was founded in 1970. Basically, this used to be a military base, and the people that were in they wanted to be close to Hebron, because Hebron is the place where the matriarchs and patriarchs of Judaism are buried. They want to be close, so they made this place in 1970. In 1979, they actually were considered a city. And then why were they considered a city? It's because they reached a huge maximum potential of people. And this might surprise people, but it wasn't the left-wing party of Likud that actually made...
You mean the right-wing party?
It wasn't the right-wing party of Likud.
Yeah.
It was the left-wing party of Labor under Shimon Peres that actually gave Kiryat Arba the ability for it to be its own community, to be its own yeshuv. And now you see there's thousands of people here. It's a prosperous place, it's a prosperous city. There's a yeshiva over here, which has given many Talmidim, Talmidei Chachamim, great Torah scholars, who learn Torah every day, who live here. They study really hard. There's a swimming pool. It has its own supermarket. And as you can see now, it's filled with people walking back and forth, different places. It's perhaps one of the capital cities. And Kiryat Arba is probably the capital of Judea. It is just a great city to be in.
You know, it's just very interesting that Kiryat Arba was one of the biblical names for the biblical city of Hebron, and even though Kiryat Arba is probably not in this location, it's still called Kiryat Arba.
Well, it's interesting you bring that point up, because now there's a big debate between two communities of Hebron and Kiryat Arba. Kiryat Arba wants to incorporate old Hebron and call it part of their community, and they want to call it Kiryat Arba Hebron. Hebron doesn't want that because they're saying that you're not really part of us. We're a separate entity. So there's that conflict of interest. And it's something that's been going on for a few years now. What they want to do, they want to bring the Bible. And the Bible says that Kiryat Arba is Hebron and Hebron is Kiryat Arba. Now, I remember once I hitchhiked the ride when I was learning in the yeshiva, and I got in a ride, and some guy was asking me, what are you doing in Hebron? Well, I basically told him, I learned in the yeshiva there. So he's like, oh, so you know the rich yeshiva? He gave me a big map. And I'm like, well, what's this? And he told me, well, you're going to the old city. I'm like, no, that's Hebron. He's like, yeah, you just came out from New Hebron, you're going to old Hebron. I'm like, I'm sorry? Like, no, he told me this. Hebron is Kiryat Arba, and Kiryat Arba is Hebron. They're both the same cities. But I told him, like, look, historically there was nothing here. He's like, you're right. So you're going to tell me that a neighborhood that is new in Jerusalem is not part of Jerusalem? She made, decent amount of sense.
So you're saying that this is pretty much Hebron?
So I'm actually in the camp because, first of all, I lived in Hebron, and Hebron is a very different situation than Kiryat Arba. 7,000 people live here in Kiryat Arba. Only about 800 people live in Hebron itself.
Would you say that this place looks like a settlement?
So it's if you want to say settlement, you could say it. I prefer the term a closed gated community, like we have in Florida or California. I see it as a small city.
Why not a settlement though?
Well, I mean, you could also say settlement, just like Chicago is a settlement, or New York's a settlement. So it depends on your definition of what settlement is. I mean, there's also legal terms for settlement as well, where someone makes a settlement in order to give back money for whatever they owe. So there is no, settlement is a very difficult term to define because there's many definitions for it. The most easy definition to understand it by is that this is a community, it's a city, people live in it, and
it's a city? What?
Yeah, even though there's only 7,000 people, it's considered a city by the state of Israel. But I really consider it's really like a small town.
But they always call this place like a settlement. How could it be a city?
Well, settlements can also be cities. I mean, Dodge, Look, San Francisco used to be was a settlement. It's still a city.
I think maybe we're turning this back into a Jewish capital, kind of.
Well, this
In
was
the day,
always
like in the days of King David.
this was always a Jewish city. Jews have always lived in this area, and Jews have continued.
Oh, so they're not foreigners from Europe.
No, Jews have lived in this area continuously for 3,000 years. There's continued.
Wait. There was that time in 1929 when Jews left.
That was only a period of about 40 years that Jews didn't live here.
Ah, I see.
Afterwards, Jews came back here. But other than that, Jews have almost always lived in this area for 3,000 years, ever since we got the Torah from Mount Sinai.
True. This is it seems like we're turning this place back into a Jewish city that it has been for a long time.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get more homes. We'll continue to grow here. We'll expand. We'll have more yeshivas here. We'll get all types of
So more international crimes. That's what you're saying.
So, if being in your own home is an international crime, so then everyone out in the world is committing international crimes.
Okay. All right. So glad to be a criminal, right?
I wouldn't say I'm a criminal. I haven't done anything against the law.
Well, you have a gun, sir.
So what?
That must mean you're a violent settler.
I have never killed anybody.
Oh.
Or used the gun.
Oh. Well, in that case. Well, thanks for giving us a big, good explanation of Kiryat Arba, Shlomo.